Thank you for joining today. We're going to cover the 6 steps for professional selling and closing. Some people might join later as we move on. So thanks, Abdul Latif, for joining. I think will help you and will help others really to help them understand more about the sales process, how to make it easy for them. For me, I love sales. Just to say something about my background for people who's not know much about me. I've been working, I have experience more than 30 years and been working in sales for almost more than 15 years. I really enjoy sales. The time I start enjoying sales, when I start understanding what is really sales. Some people might complicate sales, but it is more simple than whatever we think about. The sales, we're doing it on a daily basis. We know it or we don't. Sometimes we're selling our ideas to our family, to our kids, for everyone around us. And this is a sales. Sales is just to take the client, the prospects in a path to agree to your idea, to your product, to your concept. This is all about sales. Abdul Latif, maybe since you're here, do you like to share what things you're looking for that as we go, we can highlight and touch during our discussion?
Okay. Well, you started by saying you love sales. I'm afraid I don't love sales, or I don't like sales. And maybe this is one of the main reasons I decided really to join you in the coming sessions. Hopefully to change the, if you say, my perception on sales, or my maybe wrong understanding of sales. Although I agree with a lot of what you mentioned in your previous emails and communications, is that it's not just about selling a product or a service. It's maybe more than that. But I'm hoping from, again, attending this series of sessions is to probably have a different way of looking at sales, and really how to do sales, really how to sell, again, like you said, ideas, or how to sell again, products, services, etc. So I would say how to sell. Let me make it in one sentence: how to sell.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will share some slides, and as we go, you can stop me anytime, or anyone who joins, and I will explain as much as I can. For me, always what I learned in my life, and this is what I really love, is to make things simple. If you want to complicate things, it will be difficult. However, when you make it simple, it will make it easy for you to start grasping the idea and implementing it. So let me share my screen, and as we go, we will share a few things. So the first thing I want to talk about is, so there is a quote for Eric Hoffer, which is very nice. To learn is that we need a certain degree of confidence. This is true. Not too much and not too little. So you need slightly some confidence, but not too much and not too little. If you have too little, we will think that we cannot learn because we're lacking on it is difficult for us, blah, blah. And if we have too much, we think, oh, we know that this is all nothing, I know it more than this, blah, blah. So you will not learn. So this is something, is it so tricky? Then to say what we're going to cover over the 2 days, first of all, I will give a slight introduction. Then I will explain about the professional salesperson, the mind and the paradigm, and I will highlight why it is important here. And the sales process I will illustrate, then the 6 steps in professional selling, and the last one, which will be about when the sales breaks down, what shall I do? You're almost there, your client is motivated, However, at the last minute, he said, oh, sorry, I will not be able to buy. So what you need to do. And this we'll cover it today and tomorrow. So first of all, these are questions when people registered in the seminar, they had different questions, concerns. One of them is about the selling process, or how can I get client attention? How can I close? The negotiation, how can I negotiate with my clients? How can I satisfy my clients? Make my products as neat to the customer, and how to get prospect attention, get them to believe in the offer. These points, as we go, you will start learning and unfolding. There is an important thing here to mention, that like the last two, make my products as neat to the customers. Normally, it is not like that. I have a product, I want to convince my customer in my products. It doesn't start like that. For selling, it starts with your clients and ends with your clients, with your prospects. And this is how we're going to cover that. You need to ask, see what he really wants. Then you lead him through a path of agreement step by step by asking questions, understanding what he wants, and see how your product, your service can really help this client to achieve what he is looking for. This is simply the sales process, how it goes. And as I said, we will go through the steps explaining more about it. Now, there is 4 powerful concepts which are just building as we go and building about the professional selling. The first one, being a professional. What does it mean? It means one who engages in pursuit of activity professionally, or one who attempts to do a better job than today than yesterday, or one who is at their best regardless. So this is the professional. However, for me, I like the last one. As a professional sales, you're always at your best, doing your best, regardless. Either you're making selling or you're still building it, you're always doing your best. And this is about the professional selling. The second thing is about selling, which goes to have your ideas accepted, adopted, or approved by your prospects, or to lead another person, company in a path of agreement. And this is the second one, because you need to take your clients, your prospects, the company, step by step in a way that you both agree that this is the right product, this is the right service for them. The third one is talking about management, which is, this is to help you in building your business, which is development of the people. And this is really important. If you have a team, this is what you want to do. And the last one is, we call it the psychology, because any profession, any task you do, there is a psychology. And what does psychology mean? The science of mind and behavior, and the study of mind and behavior in relation to a particular field of knowledge or activity. And this is what we mean about the psychology. And here we're going to cover more about the mind and how to relate it to selling. Now, this is an important question. This will answer for you and for each one of us why people are buying anything. For example, when you join and you want to watch this seminar, there is some driver for you that brought you to attend and watch that seminar. Some people also, when they want to buy food, there is something that drives them. And there are mainly 2 reasons. One is to gain profit, because let's say attending this seminar, you're gaining something, you're gaining knowledge, learning tools that will help you. Or you're trying to avoid a loss, like someone is trying to avoid a loss in losing something. Maybe, for example, your car broke. So to avoid the loss of losing more money, you fix it, you call someone, you bought from him the machine, the services to avoid that loss. At the same time, you're gaining profit. So these are the two things when you think about offering a service to someone, think about your clients, your prospects. What a profit is he gaining from my service, my products? Is he avoiding any loss or not? And this applies for everything. Let's say you're supplying chemical product. We are shipping products for our clients. And for security of supply, he wanna avoid losing any interruption in the production. This is avoiding a loss. The best thing when I do selling is I prefer always to focus on the gain, which is gaining a profit. I try to, sometimes I use that techniques to show them how this thing will help them to avoid the loss, but I will focus more on the profit. So, and this is another thing as a sales. As I said, I'm building the basics for selling, which is the second thing is you need ask questions and actively listen to your prospects' response. By doing this, you are gathering information that is necessarily for you to see the world through the eyes of your prospect. This is the only way you will be able to truly evaluate what is of value or importance of your prospects. Let me stop the screen and I will share something, an experience with me that I really learned when I was during my selling process and learning. So I learned the importance of asking questions, trying to understand what is my client's story, what is his pain points, what benefit he's trying to get. I remember at one point I was trying to sell a product to our clients, and he really wanted, but the challenge for me was not my clients. The challenge was more internally. In a way, we have some products in my company, previous company, that this product has different application, that you can use it for producing certain products like an intermediate, and it can be used for others. And since this product has different applications, normally the market demand which this product goes. So it's like an intermediate that, no, this product should be sold in the technology, high-tech market. Or no, should go for the commodity market. It is the same product, maybe there's fine-tuning. So since there was a high demand in that high-tech market, I couldn't convince the people internally to get the products and to sell it to my clients. So by asking the same certain questions to my clients, I understood how badly he needs that product. So in a way, he is willing to pay extra money to get the products because he needs to fulfill his obligations regarding some contracts with his end users. So in a way, gathering this information had built a certain idea how I need to do a certain persuasion for people to provide, to allocate that products to come to my clients. And this is where it comes the importance really of your asking the questions and understanding more about your clients, what he needs. Then you can tailor the message you want to deliver for your clients or the internal people inside the company. We will come in these steps, but this is something thought sharing. So to continue with the slides. So what might be extremely important to one prospect may hold little value to another. And this is something we need all to understand. Let's say I am just selling the same product for different people. And it happens. Sometimes we are in a service, we are selling different coaching programs or some services to clients to do certain things. It is the same products. However, it can be applied in a different ways. So this is why the importance comes that you need to understand. Maybe some of them they're looking for a security of supply. Some of them, they need more to have a local storage. I'm talking about some chemical products. Other people, no, they'd like to have that, for example, services of coaching for a small group. Others, no, they need it for a wide audience or maybe a multi-locations. So you cannot present your products, hey, I do this, till you understand the story of your clients. You need to, and how you understand it by asking questions, understand what they are looking for. Maybe he's looking for just to do a service for a certain people in his company. Or, no, I want to do a service for a multiple people in my company in a different locations. So this is why when you start presenting your product, you don't immediately present it. First of all, ask questions, get a full idea what your client is looking for, then you can move on. Now here, this is something for you, is what inspires you. In a way, because sometimes you need to have a driver to make sure you are always moving in the selling process. And this is by having a big goal. Maybe, yeah, I want to make a 100,000 US dollar sales this year. This is a goal, but if you start, you need something really to move you on, like inspires you. For example, ask yourself, okay, you have those 100,000, what you're going to purchase with that money? And start visualizing, maybe I want to buy a house. I want to go with the family for a certain vacations. I want to set up my own institutions and so on. So this could be a driver, and it should be a driver for you in a way to keep you pushing for sales till you do a conversion, rather than running without a need. And sometimes you are up and down. And this is how I teach people over 3 months of the coaching program, where the thinking into results for professional sales, I do the steps from setting the goals, then we go step by steps to help people start having that deep desire to keep them moving. Now, for salesperson to improve their productivity, they must change, and they will not change unless they have a goal with which they are emotionally involved. And this is what we are talking about, having a goal, why you want to make this selling, or why you are in this profession, what you are trying to achieve, what emotions, let's say you have them today, your business is running, what emotions are you bringing? I mean, maybe security of supply, financial freedom, enjoyment with the family, and so on. This is how is keeping us really to do the work and start continue achieving our goals. Other thing is about the selling process is effective communication. One of the greatest problems in sales is communication, or the lack of it. To effectively lead a prospect, it is necessary to remember that you are communicating on 3 levels of life simultaneously. And we will talk about those 3 levels. But communication is really important. You need to communicate and listen carefully to what your clients. Sometimes you need to shut up in a way that you don't talk, just listen, ask the question and see how your client is responding. And this is when we talk about the 3 levels, we will highlight where you need to notice how is he thinking, what he's talking, how his feelings, his body, his facial expressions, his body gesture, and what he's talking about. Maybe his feelings. You can believe that he is excited, he is worried, and so on, because this will tell you an indication if that what you are proposing is something really is going to move him to take an action or not. To become a professional salesperson, effective communication is essential. Now, this is another thing to keep in your mind, that let it be a habit to help your prospect get what they want. Because if it becomes a habit, so when you go to a prospect, you're not thinking more about the sales, you're thinking, how can I help with my service, with my program, with my product, that clients to fulfill what he is looking for. And this is a law, because you're putting the right cause and the effect will come automatically. Now, before sharing it, do you want to ask any questions, Abdul Latif?
No, so far, so good. Thank you.
All right. I will have at the end also time for asking questions. So let me continue. So it also starts with your mind, your marvelous mind. And you will say that the sales start with your mind, and when this is where it opens, and this is where it closes. And when we go through the steps, you fully understand it's all intellectual and emotional when you do the selling. And that this is an important thing. Some people think that sales is mainly intellectuals. However, we're doing selling on an emotional level. When we buy something, it is more emotional than intellectual. In a way to explain, let's say, you bought some dress or some car. You're not buying the car because of the car. Intellectuals, he gave you all the features. Yeah, this is nice. He will start, and normally this is what salespeople do, and this is, we need to learn it, that we're talking more in the emotions. Once I understand why you need the car, maybe you have a large family, so you need spacious, you need to feel comfortable, you want to have safety. Okay, you now want to have a reliable car. These are emotional things, because this will feel me comfortable, I'm happy, I enjoy it. People will be looking to me. They said, "Oh, this is a fine, what's called a fancy car." So these are more emotion, and this is why it is important to understand it is more emotional when people close the sales more than it is intellectual. It starts with intellect, but the decision when it is it's been taken on emotional level. So it is simply 95% mindset, 5% strategy. This is, we all know, this is the mind and the paradigm. And I will just highlight very fast, but it is important to give for people who's, this is the first time they join, they understand what we mean about the paradigm. This is our mind. It's the large circle is our mind, the small circle is our body. And the mind is two parts. It's a conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and the small circle is the body. And these are our sensory factor. We get all the information. And the paradigm simply are multitude of habits, which are other people's habits that pass from one generation to the next. Why it is important to understand the paradigm. As a salesperson, you have your own paradigms, you have your own habits and beliefs, and you need to know the other person, which is the prospect, has the same thing, maybe differently. And can be affected when they take decisions. Also, it will be impacting you also if you are having a certain paradigms. For example, let's say if people they have struggling that they have ability to sell, this is their own paradigm. They see that they're always struggling. Or sales are mean. Salespeople are always lousy, nagging. This is your own belief system about sales. And this, when you have it, so if you want to do the same selling process, unless you start fixing, changing the idea, you will see yourself, you're acting with the same paradigm of what you believe. Or I'm struggling in negotiating with others. It is the same thing. That means this is a reflection of what is happening inside you. And this is why we said focusing on paradigms, changing them is really important. And this is how I cover it on the 3-month coaching programs about changing and building the right paradigms for you as a salesperson. So this is a question for you, and you can share how do you see sales as a profession? What things you don't like about sales? If you can share your view, Abdul Latif, that will be great. So,
just to better understand, what do you mean by how do you see sales as a profession? You mean like working in sales?
Yeah, working in sales.
Okay. For me personally, I don't see myself in sales or having sales really as a profession. Again, maybe for the reason I started with at the beginning. I don't see it an easy job, to be honestly speaking. Yeah, sorry.
No, this is great. Now, the second question, how do you see the salespeople? What is your own view about the salespeople?
I very highly respect the good salespeople, really. At least those who I've worked with, and through my career. I think they have, how would say this, really good. I would say good things, which for me are not easy to have really. But I'm talking again about really good salespeople, not just any salesperson. I sometimes I maybe envy them on what they can do really, or how can they sell.
This is important. Why I'm asking this, and this is how you start finding your own paradigm, which is your own beliefs about salespeople. In a way, once you understand what things you don't like about sales, what things you like about salespeople, then you start working and developing the right beliefs about how, let's say, as Abdul Latif, or I am a new salesperson, how I want to become. Because if you don't see yourself, you start becoming that person. Those things will always come. And sometimes when we deal with people, interact with them, that bad pictures about those bad salespeople will always come. And sometimes you find yourself, you're slowing down while you are talking to the clients. You're seeing that person, oh, no, I don't want to be that person. No, don't ask more money, or I don't want to ask my service. I will be more reasonable, and so on. In a way that you're coming more on yourself because you don't understand the sales, and it is your paradigm is the one pushing you to take these things. So this is why importance on working on the paradigms. To continue now, and this is when we talk about the paradigm, it is really important. So now when we talk that when we do the sales process, we are talking on 3 different levels. The first level is the conscious mind, the second level is the subconscious, and the third one is the physical body level. And this is, we are going to highlight that the conscious mind, this is the intellectual, the thinking, where we're changing words, gesture, and writing with our clients. So it's a two-way communication. The second level, which is the vibration, how I feel, because sometimes it is always, not sometimes, what you feel, your clients can tell. If he sees you as a confident person, he can feel it. If he sees you, you are reluctant, you're not sure, then he will feel it. And this is, we always, when we talk to salespeople, sometimes we don't, people that who are really nagging, because we see that they really need the sales. He's more worried about the sales rather than helping me. It is the same way when you deal with the prospects. If you're thinking about sales, rather than helping the prospect, he will feel it, although you're not saying that one, but he can feel how your emotions inside you. So this is, again, some about, this is a salesperson, he has a goal, and this goal, because this is what he wants, let's say, achieve a sales target this year, 100,000, then he start believing and seeing himself with that, visualizing, and this is what will force him to take, or not force him, he will see himself taking a daily actions to help him to achieve his goals. The same thing, it happens with the prospects. The prospects, he will be buying that service from you, but you need to see that your prospects always looking is on his current results, what he is seeing in the market. So he is more focused there. He is conditioned with the circumstances present result. Let's say he has a certain belief that all salespeople are mean. They are lousy people. This is his own beliefs, and this is how he's seeing himself. And you will see that he start also, his thinking is controlled by that results, because maybe his all past experience is based on that one, and he have a certain belief about it. The same thing will go on his paradigm one, and it start impacting the way he is thinking. So any sales guy is coming to him, nagging on him, blah, blah. He has a certain way in pushing them away. No, I don't want to hear, this is a waste of time. So prospect is people like us. What we like, what we love, they have the same thing. So you need to understand when you're dealing with other people, they are like us in a way, the way they're thinking, if they have their own paradigms. If he's a guide, he's not always reluctant to take decisions. You will see he will give you all the excuses not to make a decisions, because he's always like other people above him to make the decisions. And this is when you start asking questions, you will start learning more about your prospects. So, and this is why many of your prospects could be stuck, because their own paradigm is really holding them back to move on with your service and idea. Now, again, the same thing as a salesperson, you are on intellectual mind, your thinking mind, and you have something always you love, for example, your products, the service you're offering, and your paradigm is really supporting that one. And this is your results. Sometimes this is something a watch out, which I highlighted, that sometimes because I want to make that sales, I want to make that sales. You see me because I'm really thinking about this 100,000 and this will change me, blah, blah. And it starts controlling me in a way. I forget about my clients, what he needs, and how my product can really help him to achieve what he wants, how it can develop his team, how it can help him on a personal level, because this is something we need to think about. The prospects his role, maybe in the organization, is you're talking to a person or a person in the organization. Sometimes we need to see what wins he will get when he make that deal with you. So what gains, what wins he will have. Maybe he will have a credit in the organization that he brought the best trainer, the best product, the secure product, the reliable product, blah, blah. So he will get that ego for him is important. So always think about what he has in it as a buyer to take my service. What gains he will benefit from that one. It could be for him, plus also the organization. And here, as we said, you need to make sure that your paradigm is not controlling you. Now, the same thing, it applies for your prospects. The salesperson need to find out what the prospect want. And this is by asking questions. We will come through the 6 steps, which you find out what he wants through the question on the intellectual mind with words, gestures, and writing. You start saying, asking questions, seeing what he will come back to you with his answers. So you let his intellectual start thinking and answering. Then it is important to move it to really to his subconscious mind in a way that he starts feeling. And the moment you start changing that want and seeing what he wants, let's say, he wants this product because it will solve a big security of supply for him. So he has that security of supply. That means he can sleep. If he gets that supplier, in a way he can sleep at home. Nobody will call him from the plant, from that company that we run out with this product, and so on. So in a way he will feel safe, secure, that he's happy. And this is how you can find out what he is really looking for, what he wants, by asking these questions. And you want to satisfy his emotional needs and what he's looking for. And again, you're talking about his paradigm. So this is how you need to start thinking, how can I talk to his emotional mind, his subconscious mind, to make sure to create that interest and desire with him. And here we're talking about the thinking mind. Always the paradigm will be thinking about the current results, not the future. And the important thing is we want to change that want really to a goal where this is something he starts needing. Yes, I want this product because he will satisfy me. He will secure me with this thing. He will solve all my problems. So it becomes a desire for him really to start moving ahead and taking an action. And this only happens when your goal and his goal matches, by thinking about him, how you're going to help him. And he will start feeling, this is when we talk about that different levels that you're feeling, that you see how your solutions, your products will really solve and help him in achieving his goals. And he's feeling that products, how it will solve his own issues and problems. So, and it is important that I believe you can, when you talk to your clients, yes, this will get you what you want. Your paradigm, you need to watch out not to say, oh, sometimes because when we talk to prospects, we think, yeah, I believe you can, but he will never, ever do it. Your clients will notice that one, although what you're talking is different than what you're seeing. However, you need to see it. Yeah, you really see that solutions, how it will transform his life and maybe his company. It depends which products you are selling. And this is where you get a mutual results. So the salesperson must coach every new prospect to turn their want into a new paradigm. Now I want to check the timing. I want to highlight maybe one steps here. Do you like to ask questions, or we can touch the attention? Okay, so I will continue. So the attention step here, these are the 6 steps we need to do for professional selling. The first step is the attention. Then the second is interest, desire, action, results, and service. Today, I will only cover the attention, then open the door for questions. Tomorrow, we will continue with the rest of the steps. The attention is one of the important steps. Why attention is important? Simply, you must get the prospect attention so he can start listening to you. Okay, one of the things, this always involves the activity of conscious mind. Now, you need to, when you start with your prospects, you need to assume your prospects begin in a state what we call a preoccupation. They are doing something else. It's like you meet someone and you have an appointment, but when you start talking to him, you can feel that he is not listening. He is doing other things. And he said, yeah, I'm listening, but he is not listening. Because he has many things in his mind that keeps him busy, although you had set up a meeting with your clients. So, and the best way to break a potential prospect preoccupation is to provoke a feeling of curiosity, surprise him, or a concern. You need to say something for him that immediately will attract his attention. Because we need to understand also our brains pay close attention to opportunities and threats, scanning the environment for a new stimuli that could help or harm us. And to break the preoccupation, it is talking mainly from a thinking, your conscious to your conscious mind. You must earn the right to deliver your sales presentation. Becoming expert at breaking the preoccupation will add a measurable difference in your sales performance and help you develop your business. For example, and this is important because I think we come to the last slides. Yeah, what can you propose to break the state of preoccupation? We'll stop the slides and share. Now, one of the things when you meet your clients, as we said, mind is full busy. Now I'm selling a certain product, equipment, or a service. It depends about your industry. You want to get attention of your prospects. You can mention a sentence that will immediately attract his attention. For example, do you know, for example, have you heard that there is a tight in supply of this product? Or have you heard that this supplier is out of business for a while? In a way that you need to let him start listening to you, because this is something like a surprise for him. He did not know the information. You can mainly, if you are offering a service, maybe in regulations, have you heard that by 2022 that there's a new regulation set that requires manufacturers, suppliers, or companies to start training their people on this standards, blah, blah. So this is an additional information he's not aware that will attract his attention. And this is how you have the right to start presenting. Because what will happen normally with your prospects, he will be starting asking questions. Really? Can you tell me more about it? Because this is a new information he's not aware. So this is how you start getting your prospects listening to you. And there are different ways. It depends about the products you are offering. And if you can practice always having something before going to meet a client or calling him, have something always written that, hey, by the way, do you know that this is happening now? This is happening in the market. They're imposing a new regulation, blah, blah, whatever. At least to start the discussion so your prospects start listening to you. So this is what I'm sharing today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will be listening, Abdul Latif. And tomorrow we will continue with the rest of the program.
Yeah, I think the last point you've made about the attention and breaking the preoccupation,
yeah,
is really key and important. And it sounds easy, but I think it's maybe one of the most difficult, I would say, tasks for the salesperson to do, because then you have really to know what could grab the attention of your prospect, and this could change from person to person, or from client to client, or from industry to industry. So I don't know, what do you think about this?
Absolutely. It depends again about your industry. So new development in your industry will bring that attention for your clients. So you can highlight some phrase, you can highlight about others who's doing this and that in a way to draw his attention. So it depends what industry. For example, when I working in the chemical business, this is one of the things that we always find it out that will attract and get the attention of our prospects is what is happening in the market. From a supply demand, is there a new development products is coming on, or a new regulations is happening? So we highlight this one in order to get that they are getting curious, because normally when you're dealing with the buyer as someone who's going to buy your service. So it is important for them, they are fully educated in a way, because this is his role. He want to have a security of supply for the service, for the products, for his company. So he should be up to speed with the information that he is having about the market and what is going on. And here we call it a technical teaching, but to draw his attention, just highlight some new development. Maybe, hey, have you heard there's a new course we are offering, blah, blah, that will meet, or this is a new regulations and we start offering this products. Let's say for people who's working in corrosion, yeah, do you know that there's a new standards that is coming in that will protect blah, 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 blah. So in a way, it depends about your industry and what you are offering. But it's not difficult as you think. You need just to think, okay, what things can really get my client's attention? One of the great things I always tell people, and this is, I use it with myself, in the whole sales process, including attention. Now it is simple. Can I sell my product to myself in a way? If I have this product, this service, can I sell it to myself? Do I have a convincing story that I'll be able to sell it to myself? And you need to write down what are those, points that will convince me really to buy it. The more you write it down, the more you go in depth. And sometimes, I know many salespeople, they are really shallow in their understanding. They're not able to sell it to persuade themselves. So if you're not able to sell it to yourself, trust me, I'm telling you, you will not be able to sell it to the clients. Now, if you need anything in specific regarding your industry, we can do it offline, Abdul Latif, for regarding the attention part. Great. Okay, if are there any more questions do you have for me? If not, so let's meet tomorrow. We will continue tomorrow with the the 6 steps. We'll go again, remind people about the first step, and we will continue to the next 5 steps. So any questions you have in your mind, just think about it, and let's discuss more in details. Thank you for attending today, and wish you all the best. Have a great evening. Thank you.